Hi, everyone. I'm Laura Kreinbihl, the VP of Partnerships at Button, and this is Elizabeth Emerson, our Senior Director of Retail Innovation at Button. Button, for those of you who don't know, is a commerce platform that takes standard affiliate and creator links and optimizes them to be AI converting for better customer journeys. Today we're going to talk about the importance of apps and app tracking, and most importantly, deep linking. As a publisher or a retailer, when you're taking your customer out of your publisher environment into a retailer app or environment, you want them to shop. And making sure that they're doing so in the best place for that is really important. Elizabeth's going to go through a bunch of details of what we're able to do here with Button and why everyone should be thinking about this more and more as we get into Q4.
Thank you, LK. Awesome. So to start, historically, we've seen that there is an affiliate growth challenge, meaning that there have really only been two main levers for growth for affiliate marketers in the past. The first being increasing commission rates, and the second being adding new publishers or offering placements within those publishers. At Button, we'd argue that there is a third lever for growth that has been largely untapped, which is mobile apps. So we know Button has been in this space now for about 10 years. We've worked with hundreds of different retailers in the space. And one thing we know to be true is that apps convert at a much higher rate than mobile web experiences, as high as 3 times. So we see about 3 times higher conversion rates with app as we do on mobile web. We see about 20% higher AOVs and much higher lifetime values as well. We know that apps create stickier customers. It drives customer acquisition, but also retention. If you can get a user to download your app, you know they're going to keep coming back and keep shopping with you. Also, we know that apps are a great way to tap into Gen Z and younger consumers who love to shop on their phone. So apps are extremely valuable and something that historically affiliate channels haven't really tapped into.
And let's think about that for a second. If you're downloading an app on your phone, all of a sudden your credit card credentials are saved, your address is saved. Amazon, obviously the best in the business of that, even with not the prettiest interface, has made it really easy to do a one-click checkout. So as a retailer, it's super important to be able to hold on to that user because you've spent all this time in tech investments in order to make it the best shopping experience that you can.
Yes. So I think we can all agree that apps are more valuable than a mobile web experience, but as we've seen, retailers and advertisers haven't tapped into it as much as they could have or should have. Why is that? What are the challenges that they're facing? And that's kind of what we're going to chat about during this presentation. So just for some context on Button, that's kind of where we come in. We've been in this space for about 10 years now, revolutionizing the affiliate industry specifically for mobile. We've worked with hundreds of different retailers and advertisers to drive growth, optimize traffic, and deliver measurable results. And so what are some of the challenges that we are solving and that retailers see in the affiliate space as it relates to mobile? First and foremost, mobile deep linking is really challenging. We know that there are walled gardens with Facebook and TikTok and Instagram. They want to keep users in their app. It's really challenging to break out, get users into an advertiser's mobile app. And we often see links breaking, whether that be universal link or a scheme-based link. That creates really frustrating end user experiences. I'm sure we've all had the experience where we're on our device, we're clicking on a publisher link, we're going to shop, we maybe have that brand's app installed, instead we're taken to mobile web where we're not logged in, no credit card, shipping information, or we're taken into the app but we don't have, we're not taken to that exact product page that we were looking to shop for. So you're kind of starting from square one and you're not actually gonna go find that product. So that's creating a lot of friction in the shopping process.
And really quick, at Button, in about a 7-day week's time frame, with the 2 different operating systems, we see about 400 different versions of software for each one, which is crazy to think about. So every time those things come out, things can break. And Button's sort of sitting in this funny space of playing a game of whack-a-mole, basically on the mobile universe of hey, how do we make sure attribution's going to stay intact and the user's supposed to go where they need to in order to make a purchase and convert?
Right. Yeah. So if you have an app installed, you're going to want to be taken to the app when you click on a publisher's link. And so this is leading to lower conversion rates and overall just poor user experiences. And so this was the first challenge that Button has solved for. Button offers dynamic and intelligent routing and deep linking for affiliate and influencer programs. We're able to break out of those embedded web views you see on social media or within Rakuten Rewards or similar apps on your mobile device, and take that user to the place where they're most likely to convert. I say most likely to convert because Button's links are backed by AI, which is the hot buzzword of the conference, meaning that our algorithms are determining where users are most likely to convert, whether that be in the app experience or on mobile web. We know app across the board converts higher, but that's not going to be the case for every individual user and every individual experience.
A really great example of when users don't want to be deep linked into the app is if they're using some sort of privacy browser, right? Where they're saying, I really want to stay within this browser environment and I don't want any fingerprinting or anything to that extent going over. Button doesn't touch into the cookie and fingerprinting world, but that's an example of when a user doesn't want to be deep linked, so they'd most likely not to convert because they wouldn't be happy with the experience.
Awesome. So then the second challenge we see and have heard from advertisers is the inability to acquire new app customers. So we know that retailers are leaving a lot of money on the table today by not driving traffic to install their mobile app, where again, those conversion rates are going to be higher. App customers are going to be your most loyal customers, and we see that with affiliate and influencer traffic. That's really high quality, high intent traffic, and if you can get them to install your app, they're going to be much stickier and spend a lot more across their lifetimes. So by unlocking an app install flow, you're really going to be taking advantage of that traffic and keeping those customers for life. And while we often hear app installs aren't necessarily a KPI for affiliate marketers or influencer marketers, it's going to lead to better user experiences, stickier customers, more revenue for your program.
And I think on top of that, we've all been in an experience where we're consuming a piece of content on our mobile device, whether it's in a publisher's app or reading an article. We click on a link and either you have the app downloaded and you don't get to go in there, which sucks, or you get taken to the app store and then you download the app, but now you can't find the product that you're looking for. Is a really poor user experience. So just on that front, as a user, that's not fun because you want to be deep linked into the product that you found, right? And the publisher helped you discover. The other point on that too is that a lot of times those things don't track. So now as a publisher, where you have KPIs to help your advertiser hit their ROAS goals, you're losing out on revenue in those situations as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's something we'll touch on the next slide as well.
Sorry,
no,
ahead.
Yeah, and so that's something Button also solves for is our app acquisition flow. So we insert a really seamless landing page experience that unlocks the opportunity for users to download a retailer advertiser's mobile app before continuing on their shopping path. And the third and potentially most challenging issue that Laura just mentioned is attribution. So a lot of times when we're speaking with retailers and advertisers, we'll hear that they aren't deep linking into app today because they don't have any way of tracking it. They don't have visibility into any of those sales today. And that's only become more challenging as the years have gone on, as we've seen evolving link policies from social platforms and operating systems, making that really challenging. I think some of us are familiar with Apple's iOS 14.5 updates, which now require users to opt in to be tracked. We see that only about a quarter of all traffic will actually opt into that, and so that's made it really hard for retailers and advertisers to go on and track those conversions that happen in app. And so that is really challenging for programs. If traffic is ending up in app, they're losing all visibility into those conversions. They're not getting credit, the affiliate marketer's not getting credit for the sales that they're driving today. The publishers or influencers aren't getting credit for the sales they're driving. And in those cases where we're talking about cash back, that end user isn't getting their cash back, calling in to complain, it leads to a whole slew of issues. And so if you're not capturing that app conversion data, you're missing a really large piece of the puzzle. And so Button's solution does unlock app tracking for both installs and any conversions in app. And we're able to do that in a way that's privacy friendly with Apple's iOS 14.5. And we're actually able to pipe all of that data back into CJ's dashboard. So you'll start seeing app install data, app sales data within your CJ dashboard for commissioning and reporting. Awesome. So just to kind of recap those three issues, first and foremost, it's really challenging to deep link on mobile. Second piece is that a lot of times retailers have a hard time driving app acquisition from this channel. And the third is that it's really difficult to maintain attribution through app deep linking, and even more so through app acquisition install flows. And those are the challenges that Button solves for, which unlocks a really valuable tool for programs that most affiliate marketers we've spoken with aren't doing much with today, getting access into app users and those higher conversion rates that app unlocks. So you'll be creating those stickier customers and more revenue. Cool, just a couple of case studies. So CJ and Button have been partnered now for the better part of the last decade. We have a wonderful partnership and dozens of shared partners and success stories. So on average, CJ partners see a 173% increase in opens for a brand's mobile app and a 35% increase in revenue per tap on mobile. One place we really see a lot of success is when we're looking at influencer programs on those walled gardens that we were talking about before with Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, really huge lifts in conversion rate there because, again, we're able to break out of that embedded web view, get that user into the app, and keep tracking intact. Uber, I think everyone's familiar with Uber. Prior to launching with Button, they were facing a lot of the challenges that we've been mentioning before, that a lot of retailers are trying to navigate in this post-iOS 14.5 world, which is mistracking and poor user experiences. And so as a mobile-first company, Uber saw the importance of partnering with a technology provider that was going to provide best-in-class user experiences and get as much traffic into the app as possible. And so after launching with Button, Uber saw that there a 200% lift in acquisition orders and a 30% boost in re-engagement orders. We were actually able to double the size of their affiliate program just by unlocking app flows and acquisition. And lastly, we have Sam's Club, which has an awesome mobile app. They weren't sending any traffic into app before working with Button. After launching on Button, we were able to drive a 165% increase in mobile revenue and an 81% increase in conversion rate. So you can really see the value of it's really just as simple as like flipping a switch, at least when you're working with Button, to start driving more traffic to app and then automatically seeing those higher conversion rates without much effort from your side at all.
And I think one of the interesting pieces in all of this as well is that outside of Button directly working with publishers to help power their programs with our Publisher First SDK, on the other side of the world, especially in the mobile web publishers, they're able to go into CJ as they normally would to pull a link for any of their retailers that work with Button and get Button's goodness built in. So as a publisher, you're automatically able to pull that link and get the app tracking and sales and data right into your CJ dashboard.
Yep. Awesome. Cool, and we know the busiest season of the year is right around the corner. With holiday, we are expecting a huge year of $271 billion in sales, and we expect almost 30% of those sales to be taking place on mobile devices. So it really just shows the importance of nailing your mobile strategy, getting as much traffic into app or to download the app as possible to capitalize on this traffic that will be coming in the coming months here. And lastly, it's important to work with the right technology partner to ensure that you are doing best-in-class deep linking and user experiences for all of your traffic on mobile. So I think that pretty much covers it. And so we're happy to share some more information about how you can reach out to learn more. Even if you just want to chat about your mobile strategy, we are more than happy to do that. That's what we've been doing for the better part of 5 and 9, 10 years. Yeah. But happy to take any questions if there are any.
Nothing?
That's okay, we can chat after too.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone, appreciate it.